Episode 36 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. Let's see what's on the menu for tonight. Of course, like always, PN Picks. We're going to be giving you our recommendations for new games that are coming out. That Resident Evil Cloud, the whole cloud service, we're going to talk about that. Nintendo cartoons. Do we think that it would be a good idea? Our mid-year Switch grades, and Nintendo's E3 is coming up, but how could they mess it up? So let's get it started. What's up, guys? Episode 36 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. And if you're confused, you might be saying, isn't this 35? Well, 35 was our live show. And real quick, just want to thank everyone who came out to that. That was really cool. You know, some technical difficulties, but we got over it.
I want to apologize for my technical difficulties.
Hey, man, it was our first live stream.
Live stream, and I got throttled right when I hit start streaming. Are you serious?
Oh, man. And of course, Joe after work. What's up, man?
Yo, doing good, man. Doing good. Playing a lot of freaking games.
Dude,
this week has been Madhouse.
May has completely flown by. It's been nuts.
It's pretty half. By the time this airs.
Yeah. I know. I was making topics and I was like, wait, mid-year? Holy crap. Mid-year Switch grades. Jesus.
Oh, man.
But yeah, we were starting with PN Picks. So any new games that have come out or games that are coming out that are like can't miss for you?
For me, I picked up Mega Man Collection, which like, dude,
nice.
It's Mega Man. It's everything this time around. My only qualm with it is that whole the digital code for the second one.
That's so weird.
It really is. Like they couldn't just put them both on that cartridge.
What's that game like 500 megs?
You know, like it's probably not. I think the SNES is like over a gig, and then okay. I think the first collection is just under a gigabyte. But still, even then,
yeah.
Like. They could have easily put this on the card.
That was so weird.
I did make an attempt to try cloud version of RE7, but I'll save my thoughts for later on that.
Oh boy.
And Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon is a must buy.
Okay, yeah, because I was looking at that and I was like, I gotta get this, man.
Definitely. I'm kind of questioning if some of the level design is allowed.
But what do you mean by that?
Dude, it's Castlevania. Like straight up, the beginning of that game looks like Castlevania 3 a little bit, and I'm like,
damn.
Are they allowed to do? Is Konami gonna sue them for this? Like,
this is a prequel to like their bigger project, right?
This was like a stretch goal. I don't think there was like a story for it. Like Inti Creates does a lot of these like well, not a lot, but like they did this with Mighty Gunvolt before it came out. They did like a crossover between Gunvolt and Beck from Mighty Number 9, and that was on the 3DS, and it was just like a little mini game to like whet your appetite before the actual game. And this is more or less the same thing. It gives you some backstory to the characters and beating them as you like unlock different stages and whatnot. But I don't think there's any canon story with this and when Bloodstained comes.
Oh, okay. I picked up, this was 2 episodes ago. I was pimping out Fox and Forest, and damn, dude, that game is so good.
Dude,
like classic SNES like platformer. And a really cool mechanic. You can switch seasons. And depending on what season you change it to, like new platforms will appear, or like, you know, there's actually like parts where it turns into like a shmup and you're like fighting off fire. And dude, heavily recommend it. It is $20 and like people will have problems with the price, but I think it's a no-brainer.
With Owlboy, it's a solid game, man. If you can get past the price point, which again, $20 compared to a $60 game for something that's going to be quality, like, come on.
Yeah. And then also, I don't know, I played Sushi Striker, man, the demo.
I told you. I told everyone. I told everyone.
Oh my
Y'all,
god,
what episode was it? I think it was with Jams and Delapo when I said Sushi Strikers is the first thing that I was looking forward to.
dude, must
Yo,
buy. That's a must buy.
yep. Question: Are you gonna get it on 3DS or Switch?
I don't even have a 3DS.
Oh damn! That's oh my god, you're killing me.
What about you? Because okay, so I played the demo, and of course I'm gonna try the controller, but then I took it off, and I was like, okay, this is the way to play the touch controls.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I was feeling. I was like, man, I'm kind of torn. Like I was struggling a little bit
Hmm.
with the using the pro. I was using the pro controller. I haven't tried Joy Cons yet. Maybe that'll play a little bit different. But
Yep.
yeah, the touch is like totally the way to go with this game,
Oh
which
yeah.
kind of makes me want to buy it on the 3DS instead
Hmm.
because of like just the stylus. And I'd imagine that the way the battle's laid out, you're probably gonna be on the bottom screen. Is
Oh,
there a,
that's true. That's
is there a
true.
demo for the 3DS by chance?
I don't know. There probably is.
Yeah, I gotta check. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother.
But then you don't get those beautiful cutscenes in HD.
This is true, but I mean, it's also anime. Like anime cutscenes look pretty good on.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Echoes looked amazing.
And I want to say something because everyone that I tell that I really like the demo to, they're like, dude, this is like a $50 game. It looks like a mobile, it looks like a mobile port. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, Joe's like flexing that mug, by the way. I see that mug. I see that
Yeah,
mug.
yeah.
At the end of the day, like, buy games that you're gonna enjoy playing. Like, this is a really, really fun game. And the fact that it's online, like competitive, like this is gonna be cool. I think this is gonna be cool. It's gonna. So is it local multiplayer as well?
I actually. Oh, was there?
'Cause
I
that'd
didn't
be a
even look
weird
at that
setup.
menu. I was so like,
Yeah.
I was into the song in the intro. Like that was probably like the best thing
Yeah.
about my experience with that game, other than like actually playing it, was the music and the characters. Oh my god, they're
Yeah, dude.
hilarious.
So guys, pick up that demo. Like, I mean, it's free. Like, and it's
Yep.
pretty beefy too, man. You're pretty much playing like the first world. I mean, it's mostly a tutorial, but there are battles. So
Yeah, you get like at least a good hour and a half out of.
yeah. And then I think I'm gonna pick up Shaq Fu. It looks, dude, it just looks so ridiculous, man.
I can't say, I've had my deal of bad games. I don't blame you there.
I think I'm gonna do it.
I'll do it
Uh,
if you really do it. I'll do it with you.
I'll do it.
We'll
There's
do
this
a full
crazy there's this crazy like collector's edition. There's only 500 being made.
No,
Yeah, it comes with like a hat, a shirt. Shaq signs it if you get the first 500. Yeah,
get out of here.
there's a vinyl.
I
Like,
have to look
yeah.
that up.
It might be
That's-
sold out. I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
be surprised. That was a Kickstarter, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. And then like there was an interview. I think Game Explain did an interview with him, and he actually was putting a lot of his own money into it, which is pretty cool.
Really?
So yeah, he wanted to do this, and he's like, if this one fails, I'm gonna do another one. So that'd be cool.
That's cool though. Like
Yeah.
it's his name on it. He's like willing to like put money on the line for it. That's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty pumped about this game. Like he's had some creative say in it too, which is pretty cool.
Well, he was on stage when they presented it, right? Wasn't that
I
like
think
a Video
so.
Game Awards, or was that wasn't E3? That was
No.
some other event.
I think it was. Yeah, he's pretty amped about it, so I'm gonna check
That's
it out.
good.
And it's getting a physical too, so there you
Of course.
go. But okay, now we're gonna go to this, and I'm not really familiar about the whole cloud thing. This is pretty new to me, but Joe brought this up, and he has some thoughts. So grab your popcorn, people.
Have your popcorn. All right, no, I promise I won't be too ranty. I've ranted enough on stream about this, but Resident Evil 7 cloud version got announced, got released same week that it got announced on a Switch on the Japanese eShop. Everyone and their mom tried to play it that's a YouTuber and failed miserably because the servers are only Japan, and that's totally understandable. We were all just curious about it, myself included. Like,
Yeah.
will this even run outside of Japan? It's the full on like I guess you can say international. Like, I'm pretty sure Japan just has all the languages built
Yeah,
their
I
version
saw
of the
that.
game. But yeah, you can switch it to English. You can put subtitles on, do whatever. It all plays. I didn't get past the cutscene of that game. It kept booting me out, rightfully so. Like I didn't expect to be able to fully play this game once I found out it was only going to be in Japan, these servers.
Hmm.
Um, so this leads to my question of, these cloud versions of the games. We've seen this with Fantasy Star Online 2, which came out a few weeks back on the Japanese eShop for Switch. Same thing. It's just you're just downloading the key to get to the menu and start up the game. Everything else is ran through servers.
Yep.
I've heard people are able to play that game outside of Japan and have some success with it, but they've been kicking people off for certain reasons. I don't know if it's like hacking reasons. They're seeing just too much traffic from outside coming in. My thing is that's understandable because it's an MMO.
Hmm.
This is this was a retail game that's got no online features other than additional DLC. They're charging about $18 USD for a key that allows you to play the game for up to 180 days. Which granted, yes, you can beat the game once, and then that's sort of it or whatever. This I don't even see the DLC on there.
Oh
The DLC
wow.
might be on there, but I think this is just the raw Resident Evil 7 game itself, and that's it.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think this means for like Capcom or video games on a higher end coming to Switch instead of being downgraded? Do you see more Nintendo games coming over to Nintendo Switch as a cloud version because of the high graphics and them not being able to downgrade them to the point of, okay, this is going to look way too choppy. Let's just stream it, put in the Switch controls, and then have people
So
pay extra money,
essentially,
so to least.
this is gonna look like the better versions.
Yeah, so this streamed, like, I saw some graphical downgrades when I played it dock mode. Playing
Yeah.
it handheld, it actually looked better. So I
Oh.
don't know what the
Okay.
deal with that is. There's anything to do with some of the, if they're trying to at least match the Switch's output on
Yeah.
graphics or
And
something
this
like
is
that.
only in Japan, right?
This is only in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard to tell because I know part of it was also my internet because you only get like a bar or two bars if you're lucky,
Yep.
and this is with everyone
Yeah.
outside of Japan, and it's kind of like, okay, is this choppy or is this a graphical downgrade of some sort?
Yeah.
Is there a chance that we see this stateside? But for the topic of this question is really, what do you think Capcom's doing with this? Is this going to lead to a subscription model of some sort, or their way of bringing over these higher end games? What's the
Yeah.
Hunter world?
I first a little disclaimer here because there's a lot of like people that are curious like you were that are like posting these videos like, oh, this is terrible. Like
Yeah.
this is a Japanese server. This is
Yep.
not meant to be. So like for the people that are saying like, oh, this is a poor like port, like don't really listen to that because we have no idea how it's going to run. The other thing is Japan, the market in Japan is like, think of what it is here and then go completely opposite. Like this makes sense for the Japan market. Over here though, I gotta say that I hope it fails. I'm like, I'm super like old school. Like I still want physical copies. The $18 ticket price is pretty much what it costs now on other consoles. Like it's kind of like a $20 game on like PS4 and Xbox. It would be interesting though, because like Capcom has been pretty supportive of the Switch. I could definitely see them doing kind of like an EA access type thing. I don't really think that's a bad idea, but I don't know. It scares me. The cloud scares me, man.
Yeah, no, and I'm on both sides with that, dude. Like I said it right from the start. Like I'm kind of torn. I'm half. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I've played
Yeah.
I've played all the bad games too, like except for the recent third person shooter one that they had a couple years ago. I've played all of them.
Yeah.
Um So I was like, I'm at least curious to try this out, and like I dug in the 2,000 yen. Like I bought a card and was anticipating on being able to play, pay to play at least that portion of it, until I heard the Japanese server thing. All right, well, I'll just play the game.
Yeah.
Because it won't last. But I can't help but think this is Capcom trying to lay the groundwork for something subscription model. It's like as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, what are they trying to do here? First, the second thing I thought was Monster Hunter World. What if this is their way to get something like that onto here? If not for the rest of the world, then maybe for Japan, because like you said, Japan themselves, they have Wi-Fi freaking everywhere from what I understand. So like you said, that makes sense. But for here, where we still have areas throughout the states that don't even get, anything past dial-up or DSL. Like, that's insane. Maybe, 20, 30 more years down the road, we might get something a little bit more stable.
Yeah.
I
think cloud's going to be if you're looking way in the future, that's what it's going to be. You're going to buy a piece of hardware that's going to stream games. Like that's going to be, I don't know, man. It's kind of interesting that Nintendo has left even the eShop and everything, like kind of, they left all the developers in the dark. And it's kind of interesting the way that these developers are kind of, taking it on themselves to do things. Like Sega is going to release like these classic games. Like Neo Geo is releasing these games. You have cloud games now. Like, I kind of like it, man.
Everyone's trying everything, dude.
Yeah,
it's the Wild West all over again. It really is great. We're seeing some intuitive stuff. I just hope we don't get taken advantage of as consumers of product. That's my biggest fear. This being some way of taking advantage. And we were talking about this before we started the show. The Capcom's making no guarantees of keeping save past the 180 days. So what happens on 181? Like, and I want to renew the next 180 days of that. Granted, probably over 90% will not want to pay again to just keep reoccurring that game. That kind of sucks. Like, it's not even saved to your Switch. It's saved to some computer that's streaming this game for you to play. That's insane.
They would honestly make more money if they released even a full retail version of this game. They would make more money doing it. I think it's just like we were saying before. It's just like Nintendo has not been clear with everyone, like what's going on. Like, I don't even think they know. So it's kind of like developers just doing things, seeing what sticks. And, if this turns out to be a success, I could see other companies being like, here's Rage 2 Cloud Edition. Like, you never know. Like it's interesting, but I'm not sold. Like this is definitely not for me, but it's interesting.
Just one more thing to add to that, like mentioned EA Access. What if Capcom sets up something as an attachment to the Nintendo Online program as like pay $5-10 more a month, and you get all these Capcom games either to stream or to download. Depending on what the game is. Get your library of like Monster Hunter World, Resident Evil 7, but then you can download games directly to your Switch that are of like the Mega Mans, and
that'd be pretty cool. Like there was someone, I forgot who was talking about it, but they're like, this price is way too low. Like $20 is way too low. That'd be awesome if you could do like a Capcom and like maybe Bethesda comes out with one.
Oh, $20 for the online program.
The online, yeah. And then like, I want to add on. It's kind of like a cable package where you're like, I want all the sports channels. I could see that happening. I mean,
I'd be into that. I'd entertain.
Joe called it. Thought. You called it first.
Yes, right here.
Refer to episode 36. But yeah, it's interesting. We'll probably do a follow up on this when it comes to us, but if it comes to us. So I had a last minute topic that I kind of thought of, and I was like, we need to talk about this. We've talked about what Nintendo franchises we would like to see as movies. but I was thinking Nintendo cartoons, and what kind of sparked this was the brand new Thundercats that came out for Cartoon Network, and there's been a big backlash over the way it looks, and
There's another one, another new one.
yeah, dude, it looks like any other thing that's on Cartoon Network right now. It looks
Yeah.
bad, but yeah. But for me, I wanted to bring this up because Nintendo has a lot of different franchises. Like automatically, I thought of Splatoon. Like I've said this before, a Splatoon anime. Like I have the books, and they're actually pretty good. They're wacky, but like it's Splatoon. But I don't know, man. Like the whole point of cartoons, I feel like, the one of the parts is to like sell merchandise and sell like dolls and whatever. And you don't really see a lot of presence of Nintendo products, I think, in stores. It's mostly like specialty, like the Nintendo store, of course, but like like Walmart. Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of wanted to bring this up to you because Nintendo has been pushing kid-like games, but I feel like the bridge to that, like, it's not really there. It's not really cohesive. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Splatoon makes absolute sense as an anime. Like, I can imagine that being so wacky. Put them in like a junior high school setting or something like that, and then they go out and like battle. The second thing that comes to mind is Super Mario Brothers Super Show. I have an affinity towards that show. It was such a good show. Like, it's so bad that it's good. It really is. They can totally do that and like give like proper voice acting and find somebody that that sort of sounds like Captain Lou Albano to play Mario. I'd be sold right away.
Dude.
All non-joking aside though, because I'm still serious about that. People were like talking about like was it a live action Zelda series?
Oh, yep.
I wouldn't mind seeing like someone, whoever did. So it's funny you mentioned Thundercats, but like whoever did the animation on the Thundercats that came out a few years ago, because that's what I was thinking.
I think it was like 2011 or something like that.
That artwork was amazing.
Yep.
Put them on a Legend of Zelda series like that, done. So like that storyline was serious. They did not mess around with like those few episodes that aired. Get them on there, put it on Cartoon Network, done.
I mean, I'm thinking like mainstream, and this could even like not even appeal to someone like me or you, just to get someone that's like maybe like 8 or 9 being like making that connection to like, I'm seeing like Splatoon, whatever it's called, on TV, and then seeing the game. I feel like it would be really beneficial for them to make that bridge a little more clear, because like Nintendo's becoming, I mean, they're going after like people like me and you, like fans forever, but like, I don't know, maybe get that younger generation in it. I don't know. I was thinking about that.
ARMS could be a whole series. They have a whole roster there already set to go. Like, you can totally make characters out of that, and that could be a total game, the total series that reaches towards kids. You have all these goofy characters. You have what's Deathlock and freaking you have like the Mr. Helix and all. Like, there's characters there that could totally just like full on appeal.
Oh yeah, fighting and like, dude.
Yeah.
Or even like when Teen Titans was big, that's like one of my favorite like shows, and it had like darker tones to it, and I feel like cartoons have kind of gone away from that. But I mean, I would watch an ARMS show. Why not?
That'd be awesome. Like, they're not doing anything else with them.
So I don't know. Maybe we see that sometime. Yeah, let's do R.I.P. ARMS. Jeez.
Oh yeah, I had another one in my head. Slipped.
I mean, even like Donkey Kong, like they have so many just like franchises that would be perfect.
I only discovered this like a year ago. There was a 3D Donkey show that was Canada based, apparently.
Damn.
It looks god awful, but like I guess for the time it was really good. Like, it almost seemed like a lower budget Beast Wars.
Oh, I love Beast Wars.
Yeah, like put Beast
Lower
Wars.
budget than Beast Wars. Is that
Yeah,
possible?
like
Damn.
Beast Wars is like right here, and then there was Donkey Kong, and like it had
Wow.
Cranky, it had Funky, it had Dixie, had the hot tall one. I forget her name. Candy Kong, right? There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh, man. Beast Wars. Rat Trap. That was my
Oh
favorite
my
one.
god, Rat Trap.
So we are 6 months into the year. Well, it is going to be the 6th month of the year. Crazy. And I made, so at the time of this video, it'll come out tomorrow, but you guys can go back and watch. I made a video solely on this topic, mid-year Switch grades. And this year's kind of been a different year than last year. Last year we got a lot of games, a ton of games, and it was just consecutive new games, ports. It was a good mixture. This year has kind of been a little bit different. So we're going to be giving our mid-year Switch grades. And I don't know. I'll start with you, Joe. Overall, what's been going on with Nintendo?
So I saw your Twitter poll, and I did tap on C by accident, and it doesn't allow you to revote.
Nope.
But there's also no in between, so I can give my in between here. I'd give it, to start off, a B.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for that is really that after Bayonetta 2, there was kind of a lull. Like, there was Kirby, and then that was sort of it. Like, you had January was fine. Like, you know, everyone playing their games from the winter. I was finishing up Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There were games like Celeste in between to kind of hold us over. Like, the indies really, like, picked it up and, like, kept it going. Then Bayonetta 2 came out. I don't recall what was in between that and Kirby that I played, but then from after Kirby, it was just this, like, nothingness. And we had the GDC conference, had some cool stuff from there, and you know, Labo was last month. That was cool for a minute. It did exactly what I thought it was gonna happen with me personally. I built one thing that I wanted, kind of it. I was satisfied. But then, you know, we didn't really get anything until these past couple of weeks that, like, really struck my eyes. I was playing. I went back and played Metroid Prime 2 because I hadn't played that game. Like, I actually, like, wasn't playing my Switch at home. Like, it was crazy. With that said, like, now they're ramping up again, and it's like we're still having the third parties hold us down. We're still having indies hold us down, and that's been great. Nintendo's doing a good job of, like, getting people on board, to companies on board to actually support the Switch. I mean, I've gone through a plethora of Nintendo spotlights showcasing some of these games, and some of the stuff that I'm, like, still trying to work on pocket editions for, that are separate from the streams. It's been insane the past few weeks. So, like, that's where, like, this month of May really was just like, okay, this is what I've been waiting. Granted, you know, we're still getting ports. Hyrule Warriors, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, say what you will, they're games that a lot of us haven't played. I had DK Tropical Freeze. I did the same thing again on Switch that I did on Wii U. I got to a certain point and I stopped again. It's just love-hate relationship that I have with Donkey Kong. But Hyrule Warriors didn't touch at all, other than a bit on 3DS, and I'm having a blast with that game.
Yeah, it's a really fun game.
Yeah, I'm in love with that game. That, scrolling through, like I just mentioned earlier, Bloodstain, freaking the Mega Man Collection, Little Nightmares, Fox and Forest, like, they've been cranking things out. Not Nintendo themselves, but, like, everyone's really full on pulling support. And in a month, I'll be able to say something about another game that I've been playing that I'm just like, yes, thank you. This is what I want out of the Switch. And it's like, it's getting better. So for that, I give it a B-.
Okay. So I was actually looking at how 2017 started, the first 6 months. I mean, the first 3 months weren't there because the console wasn't out, but you had Breath of the Wild, Super Bomberman R. I think ARMS was like a June game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So that wouldn't have even been out yet. I don't know if I said Mario Kart 8 yet. And then you didn't really have a ton of stuff. Like you had like a Street Fighter that came out, but I actually think that this year has been better than 2017 up to this point. I mean, it's only like 3 months for them, but I actually give this year a C so far. But I want to say that everyone that I asked, and that's why I put the poll up, and that's why I probably got so many votes, is because like it's gonna have mixed reactions. Like there's gonna be people who never owned a Wii U. There's gonna be people that owned a Wii U, but some of these ports they didn't get, like myself. Like I never played Bayonetta, never played Hyrule Warriors. So it's like there's a totally like there's not a wrong answer, obviously, but I look at what Nintendo has done so far, and I think it was in the live stream that Bobby said this, and he's like the main difference from this year and last year was they were doing ports, new releases, ports, new releases, and this year it's kind of been they've been marketing these ports as new games, which for me that's not appealing, but like for everyone else that didn't play these games, these are great games. Hyrule Warriors, Donkey Kong, like some of the best games that were on the Wii U. But this year, I don't know, it started out kind of weird. I played Celeste, which I think is probably my game of the year so far in terms of like what I played on the Switch. Wow. Kirby was great. And then I played some like random eShop games, but I didn't pick up Donkey Kong because I don't know, I just don't feel like the price is there. Hyrule Warriors, I actually went to the Wii U version because I'm new to the Warriors game, so I didn't know if I was gonna like it. Plot twist, I do like it. I'll probably end up picking up the Switch version at some point. But yeah, I've gone back and I've played like I picked up it's like a motorcycle outside my house. I picked up Pokken. I went back and got Pokken this year. I've been playing a lot of like Xbox, like Fortnite. I've been playing on there, and I actually had the Mega Man Legacy Collection on my Xbox, and I was like, oh wait, that came out like 2 years ago or something like that.
There you go.
So I don't know. It's been a weird year for the Switch. Now, if we're gonna do this in December, and we're like, okay, what was the last 6 months like? I honestly think it's gonna be like A plus. Like the next 6 months is scary because so much potential. Even June, like tennis is June, right?
Tennis is June, yeah, end of June, 29th.
Tennis, you got Sushi Striker. There's just E3. I feel like we're gonna get Yoshi. We're gonna get so many of these other games, so it's gonna be packed. But I think it's been a average to, may I even say, poor first start of the year. But then again, like there's other people that are like, oh my god, like Donkey Kong, this is the best platform I ever played. So it's like,
you're wrong.
It is hard as shit. So hard.
I kid. It is scary what the next 6 months could look like.
Yeah. But yeah. Speaking of the next 6 months, there's a certain conference. Joe, you're getting good at this, man. The big E3, the big elephant in the room. We pretty much know one thing, and that's Smash Bros. Besides that, we don't really know a lot. And everyone's talking about how this could be the best conference ever. This could be, Nintendo could seal this year as another great year. I want to talk about the other side of that, and I want to say how Nintendo could mess up E3. And we can pretty much go back and forth. But yeah, how could Nintendo completely botch this E3 conference?
Pushing back all the big games for sure, not announcing any of that big stuff for starters. So again, just going by the list of stuff that they announced last year, this year, I think I might still even have my notes on. Got Kirby cheese. We got Yoshi, like you mentioned, Fire Emblem Switch. We had the Octoling expansion. Like that's gonna.
Yep.
Smash, like they haven't given a release date. We all can assume that it's going to be when the online program launches. If it doesn't, what if it's coming out next year and we're just getting the hype for it this year and it's coming out February, March of next year, what's that gonna do to everybody? Like, I mean, the odds of it not happening, but like, it could also happen. It's there. Something could go terribly wrong, you know? Um, Pokemon not coming out this year. That's a big one for a lot of people who are like really excited about getting a mainline Pokemon, especially with all the rumors that are running amok of what it could be. I think I think if that doesn't come out this year, there's gonna be a lot of crazy pissed off people.
Yeah.
And of course, especially when there's nothing coming out on the 3DS Pokemon wise. Like last year was it. So
And even that wasn't really like a new Pokemon game.
no, that was an add-on. Like it was new enough, but like in terms of story, but in terms of like what it did for the franchise, gaming mechanics wise, it didn't really add anything that Sun didn't have.
Yeah.
I think those are probably people forget Xenoblade Chronicles DLC is supposed to come out this year. It's in the fall. Metroid is the lingering one. I was
gonna ask you about Metroid.
I don't think that'll make or break anyone's feelings, and this is coming from the dude that loves it series, but yeah, I'm just not gonna mention it. Yeah, I don't think it'll make or break anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Smash being delayed probably be
my big thing. Because the only thing we do know is Smash Bros is going to be here, and I remember the big conversation, like even a couple of months ago, was: is this a port? Is this a new game? I feel like if this is a port, that's the biggest way to screw your year up.
Oh man.
If you are going to center your conference around a game and it ends up being a port with like some like 3 or 4 new characters, like
I add one.
Yes.
What if it's a port and there's no game?
Ooh, you're gonna have a lot of angry people. I think that's the biggest way. That's the biggest way to completely screw up, because like the ports are selling well and people are going to buy Smash either way. But I feel like there's a certain momentum now because you show the Inkling, you show Breath of the Wild, everything points to a new game. And if you say, oh, this is Smash Wii U Deluxe, they'll get rid of the Wii U. Smash 4 Deluxe would be that would kill it for me.
Smash for Switch.
Oh my god. Bring back the names, man. Bring back Brawl, Melee. Like another thing for me, I don't know how you feel about this. Like, do you get excited when they release something or just like a title and they're saying, I mean, obviously like Metro was a big thing, but like, are you satisfied with promises, or do you like having like a set date gameplay? Like, does that kind of let you down, or is that like?
So yeah, with titles, I think Metroid was the first one in a long time that I actually like yelled in my hotel room before I got to E3 last year. I was watching that at the hotel in LA before it opened. Like, oh, what? Like, I just lost it. I lost my mind. So sorry, rip earphones, everybody. I didn't. But other than that, yeah, like I like seeing the gameplay. I like seeing, trailers, like all that stuff is really awesome to me. If I always take release dates with a grain of salt when it comes to anyone but Nintendo.
Yeah.
Although Breath of the Wild kind of like got me. I was like,
oh man,
they missed that. What? But yeah, like I always take release dates with a grain of salt. Because that can change, especially when it's something that's like, January, June 2019 or something like that. I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. So I always end up taking a lot of that with a grain of salt. I don't know. Maybe it's just the inner cynicism on my end with people announcing release dates too early, because it happens all too often now with Sony press conferences, Microsoft press conferences, or just anyone in general giving a release date. I think the worst one for me was Arkham Knight, when they said it was going to come out in like the shortest amount of time, and then like a week later they went back on it. I was like, oh no, that's not the release date. Here's the release date. Pushed back, better quality. Yeah. I was like, you jerks.
Yeah. I mean, like the only thing that they have to get right is what they're saying. Like Smash Bros is the main focus. You have to get it right. I want just new things, just like new stuff, like new games has been like the whole theme for me. Like how to make a great E3, bring new stuff, things that were like holy crap. Like obviously Star Fox may have got leaked, but even that, seeing that would be like, okay, this is a new game. This is a new like direction. Also, I don't know about you, but like for me, these like Japanese games, I feel like they're kind of a lot to take in, and they've been just layering them like one after another. Like they almost spend like the first like 7 minutes of the presentation with these like foreign weird games, and it's not for everyone. And I've heard that being a complaint where it's like it's almost like you have to sit through this and you're like just waiting for the other games. So maybe they like space out, different releases and stuff like that. So
I think if they also get rid of like the demonstration, this goes for all directs included too. Save that for a separate direct. I feel like all these video conferences is what they're calling E3.
Yep.
It's kind of like, okay, yeah, this is a lot about the game, but like now you're born to get me to the next thing that's gonna come out. Like, get rid of the 15-minute demonstrations. If you're gonna do that, give me a demo. Then I want to play the game.
Yeah, I feel like there's a certain point where show us the trailer, show us some gameplay, but when you start going in, and Nintendo loves doing this, like
yes,
they go into here's what's new in Mario Tennis, like
dude,
you can hit the ball with a curve, or like it's just like that's a treehouse thing.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was the worst with that, man.
Yeah,
I went on 15 minutes. Like I was like, I get how a JRPG works.
Yeah. I mean, I understand you have to introduce new mechanics and new things, but it's like, don't go into like what essentially the first 30 minutes of the game is going to be. So I don't know. But yes, Nintendo can mess this up. I just want to make that clear to people. I don't think they will, but there is possibility. Did they release like how long it's going to be yet, or no?
I don't think they released time or anything. I mean, it's still early on. I say early on, but we're 2 weeks away now from E3.
Yeah,
It's gonna be super exciting.
Man.
I'm hyped for everything, and Sony, Square Enix doing their video, especially Square Enix doing their presentation. Nintendo's. You know what's funny? It's like I'm excited for their video conference, but I'm more excited for Treehouse. I want to know what they're hiding. I want to know like what's the first thing that they're gonna show, because last year we got Metroid: Samus Returns just out of nowhere. There's like, oh hey, and up next, Metroid: Samus Returns 2. Like what?
Yeah.
Like come on.
Yeah, guys.
Reggie was there too. Like
watch the Treehouses, especially if you're gonna watch the Treehouse. Watch at least like the first half hour, because they're going to do something within that first like 30 minutes. Samus Returns, and then they also did they also talked about, I think, that Mario and Luigi 3DS.
Oh
yeah. If you're a fan of the 3DS, definitely watch the Treehouse, because there's gonna be something.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I said Reggie. I mean, Yoshio Sakamoto was in that one. I think Reggie was in the Breath of the Wild one. Like the E3 before, what they did all the Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Man.
Final thing, would you be disappointed at all if they spend, even like 5 minutes on new 3DS games?
Oh, I want to see what's coming out, man. They keep telling me, they keep teasing me. Nintendo. Here we go.
Listen up.
Nintendo, you keep telling me that you're supporting the 3DS throughout 2018, and then you got a game announced for 2019, and like ports of GBA games. Listen, I want something fresh. I want something new. If you're gonna tantalize me with supporting this amazing handheld console that is 3DS, I'm pointing this way because it's right there. My Samus edition right now. I don't take the shelf with me.
It's a beauty.
Just give me new IP on the 3DS. You know what? Tease me. Camelot. I know you're working hard on finishing up Mario Aces Tennis. Whatever. Screw that. No. Give me a new Golden Sun game. Then we'll talk. Let's go.
I honestly wouldn't mind some kind of 3DS support shown. Like I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't mind it at all. Like,
And that's coming from
like,
me. That's coming from me. But I would expect. I don't know if they're gonna do it within the E3 conference itself. Like I like the formula of hiding it in the treehouse, and then it gets out anywhere. It gets out on Twitter anyway. So
definitely gives you a reason to watch the treehouse too, because there's a lot of awesome stuff in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool interviews. Like this year, I'm gonna do that. Like I'll get to that later, but I'm doing like I want to do like a pre and a post show. But the post show is gonna be much later because like I'm gonna be watching the treehouse. So yes.
Let me know when I'm there.
Hell yeah, man. But yes, that is episode 36, Joe.
36 episodes, dude. Like 52 is not that far away.
Dude,
that's crazy.
We gotta do something special.
I know, right? Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. I know where you stream.
So this one is going to come out sometime in June. There's going to be another one that's pre-recorded like this. And then I think we were discussing doing a live show on E3, like post show. Be probably a little bit later.
What I'll try to do is, if I'm lucky enough to, because I know the line will probably be crazy if Nintendo New York does this, is last year they had the like E3 set up at.
Ooh.
Hoping they do that again this year. I'll just go to Nintendo New York a little bit after the Treehouse air and try to play some of those games. And if
man,
when I came back last year from E3, I got back on a Friday. Saturday morning, I left, went to Nintendo New York. I had heard about the setup, and I was like in and out. Like it was quick as hell. Like they had timed slots and everything. How long, had to spend in this gated stanchioned off area to play all these games. They had Mario Odyssey as like center attraction on the big screen. They had Fire Emblem Warriors. They had all the stuff that I couldn't play because I spent 4 hours on my first day waiting to play 15 minutes of Mario Odyssey. It's like, all right, I'm gonna play the rest here.
So stay on the East Coast, guys. You don't need to go to LA.
Exactly. You learn so much more and have a lot of fun just even watching the events. Going to E3, I highly encourage, if you ever get the opportunity, do it.
Yep.
One time at least. One time. It's amazing. I also got to meet a lot of people that are fellow streamers and people that watch my streams when I was out there. So
that's crazy.
It's awesome, man. It is an awesome time.
I'm gonna try and go one day.
Yes,
one day.
Please. Next year. Do it. All three of us, me, you, and Guru.
We should.
Oh my god. Yes.
But yes, Joe, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at Joe After Work, youtube.com/Joe After Work, twitch.tv/Joe After Work, playing through Hyrule Warriors right now, and Ozzy Striker Gunvolt 1.
Sweet. And you are here on Nintendo Talk, also Twitter, Instagram. By next week, I'll probably be playing some new games. Sushi Striker will be coming out soon. I'll be... and I'll beat Joe on stream. But anyway, guys, thank you very
Bring it. I'm ready.
Okay. I don't even like sushi, but I'll show up.
That's another story. We're going to have to talk.
All right, guys. We will see you next week. Peace out, Preston.